students to be involved in projects that interest them. I mean, student voice comes from the interests and talents of the individuals in our school system, and they can take it in the direction that they want to take it. It's allowing education to be what students want it to be.
It gives students a place to really share their ideas, share their interests, and have some say in what they're learning, what they're doing in the classroom, but also the extracurriculars, everything else that's going on in the school.
Student Voice is a very important initiative because I think that it is a forum for students to be heard and to feel that their opinions are valued and that they are listened to. In schools, this is not always apparent, but a forum like this conference, which is ministry funded and supported by our board, is a really key piece for students to build community together. Not just in a sense of secular, but the sense that they are working together in a Catholic community towards the common good and having those voices heard for perhaps some students who may not be able to have their voice heard. Those that are marginalized, those that are oppressed, bullied, feeling lonely. These are the students that these voices are so important for.
You have a voice because you are part of our society, part of our community, and we are always learning to make things better. So on behalf of the board, I want to thank your teachers and your administrators for organizing you today to be here and to spend time at the conference. And I also want to thank you for having the student voice to make the difference in our world.
Leader, it means that you're actually deciding to step out of the crowd and say, yeah, you know what, I realize there's a difference, whether it's faith-based, whether it's whatever, I realize there's a difference in all of us, and I'm going to start making that change, and I want other people to follow me. And you're kind of leading others to follow you so they can then be future leaders.
Creating the environment that you feel most comfortable in, being a positive role model for your peers and even for your teachers. Being a leader for any real aspect of your school. Just creating a positive environment where everyone can come to school, they feel welcomed, and they feel like they're gaining a great experience out of being there.
Sometimes the loudest voices are not necessarily, and the most prevalent voices are not necessarily the voices that reflect our Catholic worldview. And I think the voices that we need to listen to, first of all, are the voices that our God tells us in the sense of Jesus' gospel message and what that is calling us to do as far as the dignity of the human person, who we are as people, and honoring and valuing one another and those relationships. And I think a conference such as this is so important in building those relationships among students, between teachers, and between schools, both elementary and secondary. That's why it's a fantastic opportunity for these students. I'm very proud to be part of it.
School can be made a better place for everyone if there are a lot more relationships being formed between everybody. I think that's one of the biggest and most important things in a community, having that faith-based, that love-based relationship, to have those strong bonds. Because in school, you want to feel loved, right? You don't want to feel alone. Yeah, I think having that awesome, welcoming community would be great.
I think first, just by giving a voice to people who don't have one, standing up for the rights of other people, and having the students start to learn to stand up for themselves.
And giving students a chance to figure out what their voice is, what's important to them, and become in touch with that.
A lot of times students go through their high school career and they're just happy to kind of go day to day and not take part, take action. And that first step of taking a risk and putting something into action is very empowering for students. And a lot of times these students that are here at this conference, they might be the catalyst that inspires somebody who may not necessarily be willing to take that risk to go forward. And it's always easier when you do things together. So that's why I think certainly working together in this collaborative way with these students and having their voices heard is key for these students going forward. Because they are the future. We're looking at our future right here. They're the future leaders of the world, and we want their voices heard today and going forward.